I first noticed something was off about 3 weeks earlier. It started small. Little details most people would miss unless they were paying attention. My wife, Kelly, suddenly began leaving her phone face down on the counter. She started taking calls in the hallway or outside instead of right next to me. And she began getting dressed up for these so-called girls' nights out far more often than usual. One Thursday evening, I was rinsing dishes and loading the dishwasher after dinner when I asked her a casual question. "So, what are you doing tomorrow night?" She lifted her eyes from her phone with an expression I had never seen on her before, defensive, irritated, almost like she was preparing for a fight. "Why do you need to know?" she snapped. "I do not need to know," I said. "I'm just asking. We usually tell each other our plans." "Well, maybe I do not want to be questioned every single time I leave the house." I stopped, wiped my hands on a towel, and turned to face her. "Question. I asked you one thing. You are always interrogating me about where I am going, who I am with, when I will be back. It is exhausting." I stood there for a moment, letting her words settle. In 8 years of marriage, I had never once interrogated her. I asked normal things, simple questions you ask when you care about someone's life. "Stop interrogating me about my plans," she said louder. "I am allowed to have a life outside this house without giving you a full report." The kitchen fell quiet except for the steady hum of the refrigerator. I really looked at her then, really looked, and saw someone I barely recognized. Someone angry, hiding something, maybe even picking a fight so she would not have to say the truth out loud. "You are absolutely right," I said calmly. She blinked like she had not expected that answer. She had been ready for a full argument, ready to escalate. But my agreement caught her off guard. "I am," she asked. "Yes," I said. "You are completely right. I apologize for interrogating you. I will not ask again." She studied my face, trying to figure out if I was being sarcastic. I was not. I was making a decision. "Okay then," she said finally, picking her phone back up. "Good." I finished loading the dishwasher without another word. Then I went upstairs, sat on the edge of the bed, and did something I had never done in my life. I opened my phone settings and disabled every kind of location sharing. All of it. Find my friends, Google location history, anything that let her see where I was. Then I opened a new browser tab and searched flights to Miami. If she wanted privacy so badly, I would give her plenty of it. And I would take some for myself. The next morning, she was suddenly in a much better mood, probably relieved that I had backed down without a fight. She even kissed me goodbye before leaving for work, something she had not done in weeks. "Have a good day," she said. "You too," I replied. "Enjoy your plans tonight." She smiled like she had won, like I was just another husband who had learned to keep his mouth shut. She had no idea what was coming. All day Friday, I did my normal job, but my mind was somewhere else entirely. The flight was booked. Thursday night departure, return Monday afternoon. A hotel right on South Beach. 3 days of doing whatever I wanted without giving a single explanation. When I got home that evening, she was already getting ready. Hairstyled perfectly. Makeup flawless. Wearing a dress I had never seen before. "Heading out soon?" I asked from the doorway. "Yeah," she said. "Meeting the girls at 7. Have fun." She paused with her mascara wand halfway to her lashes. "That is it. No questions?" "You asked me to stop interrogating you," I said. So I stopped. She looked almost disappointed, like she wanted the fight after all, but I was not giving her one. "Okay, I will probably be back late. Do not wait up." "No problem." I watched her walk out, listened to her car pull down the driveway. Then I grabbed the overnight bag I had packed that morning and ordered a ride to the airport. My plane took off at 10:15. By the time she was doing whatever she was actually doing, I was already halfway to Florida. She wanted freedom. She was about to find out what that really meant. I landed in Miami a little after midnight. The warm air hit me as soon as I stepped outside, and for the first time in months, I felt something I had forgotten how to feel. Relief. No accusations. No second-guessing every word I said. No walking on eggshells. I checked into the hotel a little after 1 in the morning. The room had a balcony facing the ocean. I stood there listening to the waves until I realized how tightly my shoulders had been clenched these last few weeks. Saturday morning, my phone showed 17 missed calls and 32 text messages, every single one from her. The first few were calm. "Hey, where are you? Did you go somewhere?" Then they shifted. "Why are you not answering? I am worried." By message 20, panic had taken over. "Please tell me you are okay. This is not funny. I am about to call the police." I ordered room service, ate breakfast on the balcony, and let every call go unanswered. Around noon, I finally sent a single message. I am fine. Enjoying my weekend. 3 dots appeared instantly, then disappeared, then came back. She typed, deleted, typed again. It went on for 2 full minutes before the message finally arrived. Where are you? I set the phone down and walked to the beach. The rest of Saturday was incredible. I had lunch at a Cuban place in Little Havana. I spent the rest of Saturday wandering around Miami like a man who had just remembered what freedom felt like. I walked through Wynwood, taking my time with the murals and street art. For dinner, I went to a steakhouse where the waiter brought me a perfectly cooked ribeye and, best of all, did not ask me one personal question. He simply set down the plate and left me in peace, something I had not felt in a long while. My phone kept buzzing on the table. I finally checked it around 8 o'clock that night. 43 more messages from Kelly. She was bouncing between emotions now. Anger, fear, guilt, accusations, bargaining. How could you disappear like this? Do you have any idea how worried I am? I thought something happened to you. This is cruel. We need to talk. Please come home. I turned off the notifications and went to bed early, slept with the balcony door cracked open so I could hear the ocean. Sunday morning, she changed tactics. Her messages softened. The tone shifted. I am sorry if I made you feel bad. I never wanted to hurt you. Can we please just talk? I miss you. I was sitting at a cafe with a strong cup of coffee when I decided to respond. I will be home Monday evening. We can talk then. Her reply came back instantly. Monday? You are not coming back until Monday? Correct. Where even are you? Miami. For the next 2 minutes, I watched the 3 typing dots appear, vanish, come back, and disappear again, over and over. Then nothing. She went completely silent. I spent Sunday doing whatever I wanted. I rented a jet ski. I ate more key lime pie than any adult should. I watched the sun slip down behind the water from a rooftop bar. I did not post a single picture on social media. I told no one where I was. Privacy. The one thing she kept demanding. I finally embraced it myself. Monday afternoon, I packed up, headed to the airport, and flew home. I landed a little after 6 and reached the house around 7:30. Her car was in the driveway. Every light in the house was on. I walked inside like it was any other day. Kelly was standing in the living room waiting for me. Her eyes were red and puffy, her makeup gone, her hair tied back in a messy knot. She looked like she had not slept since Friday night. Where in the world have you been? She demanded before the door even closed. I set my bag down. Miami. I told you that. You told me on Sunday, she snapped. After I had been trying to reach you for 2 days. You said you did not want to be interrogated about your plans. I reminded her. I figured you would appreciate the same courtesy. Her mouth opened as if she had something sharp to say, then closed again. She was searching for an angle, a way to twist this back on me. That is not the same thing, she finally said. Is it not? I asked. You go out Friday night without telling me your real plans, come home late. I go out Thursday night, take a trip, come home Monday. Looks pretty similar to me. The difference, she said, is that I did not disappear without warning. You told me to stop asking about your plans, I said. So, I stopped sharing mine too. Seems fair. She stared at me like I had turned into a completely different person. This was not the husband who apologized for everything. Not the man who backed down. Not the quiet guy she could push around whenever she felt like it. I tried to check your location, she said. You turned it off. I value my privacy, I said. Her face changed, because she heard her own exact words coming back at her. It hit her then. She had built this situation herself, brick by brick. This is ridiculous, she said. You cannot just take off for a weekend without telling me. Why not? I asked. You told me outright that asking about plans is interrogation. So I stopped asking. And I stopped answering. That is not what I meant. Then what did you mean? She did not have an answer, because we both knew exactly what she meant. She wanted the freedom to do whatever she was doing. She just never thought I would take the same freedom for myself. I picked up my bag. I am tired. Long flight. We can talk tomorrow if you want. We are talking now. No, I said. We are not. I am going to bed. I walked past her toward the stairs. She grabbed my arm. You do not get to just walk away from this conversation. I looked down at her hand on me, then met her eyes. Let go. Something in my voice must have reached her, because she released me immediately. I went upstairs, unpacked, and got in the shower. When I came out, she was sitting on the bed crying. I was worried about you, she whispered. Were you? I asked. Or were you worried about not knowing where I was? She did not answer. I got into bed, turned off my lamp, and said, good night. She stayed sitting there for a long time before lying down as far away from me as she could get. I fell asleep almost instantly, the best sleep I had gotten in weeks. Tuesday morning, I woke at 6 like usual. She was either asleep or pretending to be. I showered, got ready, made coffee, and left without saying a word. At work, my phone started buzzing around 9. We need to talk about what happened. You cannot ignore me forever. I deserve an explanation. Around lunchtime, I finally replied. You deserve an explanation. That is interesting. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, came back. Then, what is that supposed to mean? Exactly what it sounds like. I put my phone away and focused on my project deadline. Her drama was the least important thing in my day. When I got home that evening, she was waiting in the kitchen. She had clearly staged the whole moment. Hair done, makeup perfect, wearing an outfit she knew I liked. A performance. Hey, she said, forcing a smile. When I came home that evening, Kelly was waiting in the kitchen with dinner already made. She had set the table, lit a candle, even put actual effort into cooking, something she had not done in months. Thanks, I said, looking at the plate. But I already ate. Her smile twitched like a wire snapping. Oh, I thought we could talk over dinner. I am not hungry, I said. But you go ahead. I walked past her into the living room and turned on the television. She followed me, still holding onto the last bit of her plan. Can you please turn that off? She asked. We need to talk. Talk about what? Everything, she said. The Miami trip. You ignoring me. This attitude you have had since last week. I muted the television and looked at her calmly. What attitude? This, she said, motioning at me. This cold, distant thing you are doing. It is not like you. Maybe, I said, you do not know me as well as you think. She moved to the far end of the couch and sat down. Look, she said, I know I said some things last week. Maybe I overreacted about the questions, but that does not give you the right to disappear for an entire weekend. I did not disappear, I said. I went to Miami. I even told you where I was. 2 days later. Better late than never. Her tone sharpened. The sweet, apologetic act was falling apart. She was shifting strategies again. This is not healthy, she said. This is passive-aggressive. Is it? I asked. I thought I was respecting your boundaries. You wanted privacy, so I took privacy. You wanted space, so I stepped back. Sounds pretty straightforward. That is not what I meant by privacy, she snapped. Then explain it to me. I said. What exactly did you mean? She opened her mouth, then shut it again, because she could not explain it without revealing exactly what she was hiding. I meant, she said finally, that I should be able to go out with my friends without you grilling me about every little detail. I never grilled you, I said. I asked the kind of questions normal married people ask each other. It felt like grilling. And me going to Miami, I said, felt like abandonment to you. She stiffened. Looks like we both learned something about feelings versus intentions. Kelly stood up suddenly, angry and flustered. Why are you being like this? Like what? Like you do not even care anymore. I turned the television back on. I care about the same things I have always cared about. Honesty, respect, trust, the basics. And you do not think I have been honest? She asked. Have you? I said. The question hung in the air like thick smoke. She could have told the truth. Could have admitted what she was doing on those Friday nights. Could have taken responsibility. Instead, she went straight to anger. I cannot believe you are accusing me of something, she snapped. When you are the one who took off without saying anything. I told you exactly where I was, I said. That is more than you have told me about your Friday nights. I told you I was with friends. Which friends? I asked. Why does it matter? It does not, I said. You are right. It does not matter at all. That answer scared her more than any argument would have. She wanted me to chase her, demand answers, lose my temper, anything she could later use as ammunition. My indifference? She had no script for that. I am going to bed, she said sharply. When you are ready to have a real conversation instead of playing games, let me know. Good night, I said. She stomped up the stairs and slammed the bedroom door hard enough that a picture frame rattled. I stayed downstairs for another hour, the television still on, though I was not really watching. I was thinking. The woman I married would never have blown up over a simple question about weekend plans. She would not have twisted normal concern into accusations. She would not have treated my worries like control issues. Something had changed. Or maybe it had always been there, and I had just been too trusting to see it. By Wednesday, I left for work before she woke up. Came home late. Thursday, same routine. She tried to start conversations, but I kept everything shallow. Weather, bills, groceries. That was it. By Friday evening, she was unraveling. "Are you having an affair?" she asked out of nowhere. I looked up from my laptop. "What? You heard me. Is there someone else?" "You are asking me if I am having an affair?" I repeated. "Yes," she said. "What else am I supposed to think? You are distant, cold, and you took a secret trip to Miami." "It was not secret. I told you where I was. After you were already there." I closed my laptop slowly. "Let me ask you this. If you truly thought I was having an affair, why is your biggest concern the fact that I went to Miami? Would you not be more worried about who I was supposedly with?" She blinked, realizing she had walked into her own trap. I do not understand what is happening," she said weakly. "What is happening," I said, "is that I am giving you exactly what you asked for. Space. Privacy. No questions." "I did not ask for this," she said. "Yes," I said, "you did. You just did not think about what it looked like from the other side." My phone buzzed on the table. It was a text from Hudson, one of my closest friends at work. "Drinks tomorrow. You seem stressed lately." I texted back, "Yeah, sounds good." Kelly was watching me like a hawk. "Who is that?" she asked. "Hudson," I said. "We are getting drinks tomorrow." "Oh, okay." She waited, expecting more details. Where we were going, what time I would be back, who else would be there. The very thing she had been furious with me for asking her. I did not volunteer a single extra word. "Have fun," she said finally. "Thanks." Saturday evening, I met Hudson at a bar downtown. We had worked together for 5 years. He had met Kelly plenty of times at company parties. As soon as we sat down, he gave me a look. "All right," he said. "What is going on? You have been off all week." So I told him everything. The blow-up about questions, the trip to Miami, the Cold War happening at home. Hudson whistled under his breath. "That is rough," he said. "The strange thing," I admitted, "is that I do not even feel angry anymore. Just tired." "Tired is worse than angry," he said. "Angry means you still care enough to fight." "Yeah," I said quietly. "Exactly. Can I be honest with you?" Hudson asked. "Always." He took a breath. "I saw Kelly a couple of weeks ago. Friday night. At that Italian place by the highway, Caruso's." I set my beer down and looked at him. "Okay. She was not with her friends," he continued. "She was with a guy. They were in a corner booth. Pretty close. It looked like a date." There it was. The confirmation I had already suspected but had not wanted to say out loud. Someone else finally said it for me. "Did she see you?" "No," he said. "I was just picking up takeout. Left before either of them noticed me. I almost texted you that night, but honestly, I was not sure if it was my place." "It is fine," I said. "I appreciate you telling me now." Hudson leaned forward. "What are you going to do?" I stared at the amber in my glass for a long moment. "I'm going to talk to someone. A lawyer. Just to understand my options." He nodded. "That is fair. If you need anything, let me know." We finished our drinks and talked about work, regular stuff, two friends just passing time. But my mind was elsewhere. Caruso's. Corner booth. Friday night. Every defensive outburst, every accusation, every odd reaction suddenly lined up like puzzle pieces snapping into place. When I got home around 11, Kelly was on the couch watching television. "How was it?" she asked, pretending to sound casual. "Good. Hudson says hello." "That is nice," she said with a practiced smile. I did not offer anything else. I just went upstairs, lay in bed staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything Hudson had told me. Not angry. Hudson was right. I was past anger. I was just done. Sunday morning, I started searching the names of divorce attorneys in the area. I made a list. By Monday, the marriage was over in my mind. I just needed to formalize it. Monday morning, I called out sick for the first time in 3 years. I had appointments, and none of them involved the office. I met with 3 different attorneys. The first wanted too much money. The second seemed more interested in dragging out the process to bill more hours. The third, Mr. Sterling, was straightforward and honest. "How long have you been married?" he asked. 8 years. "Children?" "No." "Property?" "We rent." The lease is in her name. I moved in after the wedding. He nodded as he wrote. That simplifies things. Any joint accounts? 1. A checking account. I opened a separate account last week and moved half the money. Good, he said. That is fair. Any major assets? We each have a car. Both are paid off. Mine is in my name. Hers is in hers. We have normal household furniture. Nothing significant. He leaned back. This is about as clean as it gets. No fault divorce. We file, she gets served, there is a waiting period, and then it is final. How long in this state? I asked. Minimum 60 days. Could be longer if she tries to drag it out. She will, I said. She might, he replied. But based on what you have described, she has no grounds to stop it. You want out. That alone is enough. I hired him immediately. We went through paperwork, timelines, and strategy for the next hour. When I walked out of his office, I felt lighter than I had in months. I spent the rest of Monday taking care of small but important details. I called the insurance company to separate our policies, updated my direct deposit to the new bank account, changed my emergency contact at work from Kelly to Hudson. Simple changes. Necessary changes. That evening, when I got home, Kelly was in the kitchen cooking again, another attempt at playing the devoted wife. Hey, you are late, she said. Everything okay? Fine, I said. Had a few errands. Well, dinner is almost ready. I am not hungry. Her face fell. You have not eaten with me in almost a week. I have been busy. Busy avoiding me, you mean? I did not answer. I headed toward the stairs. I know you saw someone, she said behind me. I stopped. Excuse me. Saturday night, she said, her voice trembling. Hudson told you something. I can tell. I turned around slowly. What do you think he told me? She gripped the counter like she needed it to stay upright. I do not know, but you have been different since then. Colder. Distant. Like you have already checked out. Maybe I have, I said. The words came out clean and honest, no hesitation. Her eyes widened in panic. What does that mean? It means exactly what it sounds like. You are saying you want to leave? She whispered. I am saying I already left in my mind. The rest is paperwork. She rushed toward me. No. No. We can fix this. Whatever Hudson said. Whatever you think happened. Caruso's, I said. Her whole body froze. 2 weeks ago. Friday night. Corner booth. Every bit of color drained from her face. He is just a friend, she said weakly. Do not insult me. It is true, she insisted, voice shaking. We were just talking. In a corner booth. At a romantic Italian restaurant. On a Friday night. 2 days after you blew up at me for asking about your plans. It was not like that, she said, tears forming. Then what was it like? Explain it. She broke. Real tears this time. He is someone I used to work with, she said. We ran into each other at Target a few weeks ago. We got coffee. That is all. And the dinner. He was struggling. His divorce just finalized. He needed someone to talk to. So you took him to a romantic restaurant, I said, sat in the corner like a couple, and did not tell your husband. I knew you would overreact, she said. Overreact. I repeated. You mean react. Because you crossed a line, and you knew it. That is why you hid it. Nothing happened, she insisted. We just talked. About what? I asked. About his failed marriage? How hard divorce is. How nice it is to have someone who understands you. Her silence answered every question. Let me guess, I continued. He complained about his ex-wife. You complained about me, how I asked too many questions, how I do not give you space. And he agreed with all of it. Because that is what people who want something do. They tell you whatever makes them look like the better option. You are twisting this, she said. Am I? I asked. Because from where I stand, it looks incredibly simple. You wanted to spend time with another man without me knowing, I said. So you picked a fight about questions, called me controlling, and turned me into the villain so you could justify whatever this was turning into. It is not an affair, she cried. Maybe not yet, I said. But that is exactly where it was heading, and we both know it. She dropped into a chair and broke down completely, sobbing into her hands. I am so sorry, she whispered. I am so sorry. It was stupid. I was not thinking clearly. You were thinking very clearly, I said. Clear enough to choose a restaurant on the other side of town. Clear enough to hide it from me. Clear enough to explode at me when I asked a normal question. Please, she begged. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. I will cut off all contact with him. Whatever you want. I sat across from her. Not because I was considering anything, because I wanted her to see my face when I said what needed to be said. I do not want to fix this. She looked up like she had been hit with something heavy. What? I am done, I said calmly. And it is not because of him. It is because of who you turned into. The woman I married would not have hidden things. She would not have gaslit me for asking normal questions. She would not have made me feel crazy for caring about her life. I can change, she said through tears. You probably can, I said, but I am not waiting around to see if you will. You are not even going to try? She asked. Try what? I asked. Try to trust you again after you lied? Try to feel secure after you accused me of interrogating you for basic communication? Try to rebuild a marriage with someone who needed attention from another man to feel valued? She had no answer, not even a broken one. I met with an attorney today, I said quietly. The paperwork will be filed by the end of the week. No, she whispered. Please. No. I love you. You love the idea of me, I said. The stability, the safety, the routine. But you do not love me enough to be honest. And I cannot build a life on that. I stood up. I will sleep in the guest room until I find another place. The lease is in your name. You can stay. I will be out within a month. This is because of Miami, is it not? She snapped. You are punishing me. Miami was me taking a breath, I said. This is me making a decision. There is a difference. I went upstairs, grabbed my pillow and a stack of clothes, and moved into the guest room. She did not follow. She did not pound on the door. She just stood in the kitchen, crying while I set up my temporary space. Around midnight, a small note slid under the door. I found it in the morning. I know I messed up, but ending 8 years over dinner with a friend is extreme. Please reconsider. I will do anything. I folded the note and put it in my pocket, not because I wanted to keep it, but because my attorney might need it to show she understood what was happening. Tuesday morning, I went to work like nothing had changed. I focused on my projects, had lunch with Hudson, and told him everything. How do you feel? He asked. Relieved. Like I can finally breathe, I said. Good, he said. You deserve better. And thank you for telling me about Caruso's. I had to know. That is what friends are for, he replied. When I came home that night, Kelly tried again. I ended it, she said quickly. I blocked his number. Deleted all our messages. He is gone. See? She held up her phone like evidence. Okay, I said. That is it, she asked. That is all you have to say? What else do you want? Good job doing something you should have done weeks ago. I want you to say we can work through this. We cannot, I said. I told you that already. Why not? She demanded. Because trust does not rebuild in a day, I said. Or a week. Or even a month. And I do not have the energy to try. Her eyes were desperate. So, that is it, she whispered. One mistake, and you are done. It was not one mistake, I said. It was a chain of choices. And the last choice I am making is to leave. I walked past her into the guest room and shut the door. The paperwork would be ready Friday. And then this chapter of my life would finally end. Friday came quicker than I expected. Around noon, Mr. Sterling called. The papers are ready, he said. You can pick them up, or I can have them served. I will pick them up, I said. I want to give them to her myself. You are sure? He asked. Most people prefer. I am sure. I left work early and drove to his office. The envelope felt heavier than it should have, like it carried 8 years of history inside it. When I walked through the front door that evening, Kelly was sitting on the couch looking like she had been waiting all day. We need to talk, she said immediately. We do, I replied. I set the envelope on the coffee table between us. She stared at it like it was a live grenade. What is that? She whispered. Divorce papers, I said. I need you to sign them. Her face crumbled. You actually did it. I told you I would. I thought, she wiped her eyes. I thought if I gave you space, if I showed you I was serious about changing. It is not about space, I said. It is about respect. And you stopped respecting me the moment you chose to hide things instead of talking to me. She picked up the envelope with shaking hands, then set it down like it burned. I cannot sign these. You will eventually, I said. This just starts the process. What if I refuse? Then it takes longer. But the result is the same. She looked at me with something close to hatred. You went to Miami to punish me. I went to Miami because I needed to think, I said. And while I was there, I realized something. I paused, letting the truth land. I was happier in 3 days alone than I had been in 3 months with you. That hit her harder than anything else I had said. Truth usually does. I gave you 8 years of my life, she whispered. And I gave you 8 years of mine, I told her. So we are even. Her face went tight. This is so cold. So calculated. This is not you. No, I said, standing up. This is exactly me. You just never bothered to get to know who that person was. I grabbed my keys. I found a place. Month-to-month rental. I am moving my things out this weekend. Keep whatever furniture you want. I do not need much. Where? She asked, her voice small. Why does it matter? I said. She did not answer. I went to the guest room and started packing. Clothes, my laptop, important papers, everything that actually mattered. The rest could wait. She appeared in the doorway. My parents are going to ask questions. Tell them the truth, I said. Or do not. I honestly do not care anymore. They will probably blame you, but that is between you and them. She watched me pack for a few minutes, then whispered, I really did love you. Past tense, I said. Interesting choice. That is not what I meant. It is what you said. I zipped my bag. I will be back tomorrow for the rest. Please do not be here when I come. It will be easier for both of us. This is really happening, she said. Yes. I never thought you would actually leave. I know, I said. That was the problem. I carried my bag down the stairs, walked out the door, and did not look back. The apartment I had found was nothing fancy. A small one-bedroom on the second floor. But it was mine. No shared memories, no tension in the air, no tiptoeing around someone's mood. I set up the basics that night: bed, television, a small kitchen table, and ordered pizza. Sat on the couch and felt something I had not felt in months. Peace. Saturday, I went back to the house. She had done what I asked and left. I loaded the rest of my things into a truck Hudson lent me. On the kitchen counter, she had left the divorce papers. Signed. I was not surprised. Mr. Sterling told me she might hold out, but in the end it did not matter. The process had already begun. Sunday, I slept until 10, made breakfast in my own kitchen, went for a run, and let the day waste away in the best possible way. Monday morning, I went back to work like life had reset itself. No drama. No wondering where she was. No guessing what I had done wrong. Just work, coffee, and routine. Hudson met me before our shift. How is the new place? He asked. Quiet, I said. Good quiet or lonely quiet? Just quiet, I said. And it feels good. 3 weeks later, Mr. Sterling called. She finally signed, he said. But she is asking for half the value of your car. Of course she is, I said. I will deal with it. In the end, she did not get the car. She did not get anything except what was already hers. The settlement was clean, fair, and quick. 67 days after filing, it was official. I was free. 6 months later, I ran into her at Target. She looked worn down, tired. She opened her mouth like she wanted to say something, but I just gave her a nod and kept walking. There was nothing left to talk about. That same weekend, I flew back to Miami. Same hotel, same view of the water. But this time, I was not escaping anything. I was just living. 1 year after the divorce, I hardly recognized my old life. I had moved from the apartment into a small 2-bedroom house in a nicer neighborhood. Work promoted me. I started lifting weights again. Reconnected with old friends. Hudson and I grabbed lunch one afternoon. You look good, man, he said. Seriously. Night and day from a year ago. I feel good, I told him. Better than I have in a long time. Any regrets? He asked. Not a single one, I said. He took a drink and said, heard through the grapevine, she is engaged again. I bit into my sandwich. Good for her. That is it. No reaction? What do you want me to say? I asked. I hope she is happy. I hope she learned something. But honestly, I do not think about her much anymore. And that was the truth. She was a chapter, not the whole book. You seeing anyone? He asked. Nothing serious, I said. I am not rushing. Smart. That weekend, I flew to Miami again. 3rd trip since the divorce. It had become my reset button. The place where I remembered who I was outside that marriage. I sat on the beach at sunset, watching the sky change colors, thinking about the long road that brought me there. The blow-up over simple questions. The weekend away that started as spite, but became clarity. The cold silence. The corner booth. The divorce. At the time, all of it felt like my world was collapsing. But looking back, it was the best thing that ever happened. She wanted freedom without responsibility. Space without communication. Privacy without partnership. And I gave her all of that, just not in the way she expected. The irony hit me harder than the waves hitting shore. When she demanded I stop asking questions, she pushed me into a place where I eventually stopped caring about the answers. And when I stopped caring, walking away became the easiest choice in the world. My phone buzzed. A message from Natalie, someone I had met at a work conference last month. "How is Miami?" "Perfect," I replied. "Wish you were here." "Next time," she texted back. "Deal." I smiled. Natalie was different. Honest. Direct. We talked for hours without pretending or performing. No hidden meanings. No tension. Just two people communicating like adults. Maybe something would come of it. Maybe not. Either way, I was good. The sun dropped below the horizon, painting the sky orange and purple. I brushed the sand off my shorts and stood. My ex-wife had taught me something important. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And when they demand space, give them exactly that. Just make sure you keep some space for yourself too. I headed back toward the hotel, already thinking about tomorrow's jet ski rental, that Cuban place I always visited for lunch, and maybe calling Natalie later to see if she wanted to video chat. Life was simple again. Uncomplicated. Mine. And I had no intention of ever looking back.